Okay, y'all, welcome or welcome back. And if you've been here, then you already know that I said come back, because this is going to be the continuation of all the stuff that I got going on. So yeah, today's going to be a little busy. Yesterday was busy. I was cooking some food that I'm going to have prepared for the week. I was starting some live starter for sourdough bread, gluten-free. I was building my shoe / accessories cabinet. And yeah, listening to an audiobook. That was my first time to the audiobook. I showed y'all, I let y'all get a little sample so y'all know all about that. Today we're probably going to turn it back on so I can do everything else. But this morning I already got myself refreshed. I still got my little PJ on because this is my uniform on the weekends, and a uniform specifically for y'all, because if I wasn't recording I'd be in my birthday suit. Okay, that's when I feel most comfortable. Anyway, this morning I've washed the dishes, as y'all can see. Well, y'all know I have the dishwasher here, but I unloaded the clean ones, loaded the dirty ones, hand wash like the pots and pans, because some of them can't be dishwashed, and then some of them I just feel like they come out better when I hand wash them. I've cleaned the stove. I don't know why I got this piece of paper towel up there, but I cleaned the stove, so everything is clean. Okay, we're gonna try a recipe, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all this recipe. Let's hope it come out right, because sometimes I won't be selling y'all a hope and dream. This is just me trying stuff out. I can cook, okay, but sometimes when it comes to this like making stuff from scratch thing, it don't always be the easiest, because then they're like, oh, you need this brand for flour, you need this brand for this, you need this brand for that, and it's like, baby, why? Okay, so this morning we're going, and yes, this morning, because I don't really have breakfast thought out this week, just kind of whatever I decide. I got eggs, I got breakfast sausage, but I'm really craving this empanada. So it's sweet plantain with like flour. That's the outer part of it, right? And that's gonna make the dough, and then you put ground meat inside. I'm gonna do ground pork. So I'm gonna cook the ground pork right now. That way it can sit and be cooled off. And the part that I'm a little apprehensive about, y'all, is the dough. Because that's the part that's from scratch, and that's the part that I'm like, oh my God. Now, let me show y'all, because it says that you need 2 ripe plantains. I ain't go to the store and get fresh ripe plantains. However, I did have the ones from Trader Joe's that are already the ripe sweet plantains, right? And I let this thaw out. Normally you keep these frozen because they don't want them to be too mushy when you're trying to like reheat them, but at this point I need them soft. So they're already cooked, already ready to go. We're gonna put this in a bowl, and then we're gonna see how the dough come out. But for right now, let me just go on ahead and cook the ground pork, just so that's out the way. After that, I need to edit my content. See how this goes? So y'all can have the content. I'm editing the vlogs for y'all because it is Sunday in real time. I ain't gonna lie, I do edit on Sundays. Sometimes I edit in advance if I got the mojo, but sometimes I edit on the day because it has to get done, and procrastination at its finest, but it's always gonna get done, Pookie. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna see what kind of energy I got to tackle this shelf. So let's get started on these empanadas. So let's just put this right here. It tells me to Use a masher, which this, by the way, if y'all don't have one of these, this is really good. This is a meat like masher. It's different than a regular standard, like, you know, mashed potato smasher. This one really minces the meat really good, but I like to use it as like a hand masher as well. It says use a potato masher to mash the plantains to a smooth mixture. And it also says if it has excess water to just dry it. Pat dry it with, it says to pat dry it. And because I told y'all I took this out of the freezer, I use a glove for a lot of things, y'all, that I gotta touch, because I am such a consistency person and I can't stand my hands feeling just like wet. So we're gonna go on ahead and put this in there, right? Oop. Put these in here. And it also says to get cornstarch. So this is what the ones from Trader Joe's is looking like, just so y'all can see it, right? They're already the ones that, like I said, you order from a restaurant, nice and ready. But that's why Trader Joe said keep them fresh, because if not, I mean frozen, because if not, look what they look like. You know, if they're unfrozen, they just look like mashed up stuff that you don't want. Pat dry, paper towel, remove excess moisture. Use a potato masher to mash the plantains into a smooth mixture. So right now I'm gonna just break it up with my hand since I got the glove on, and just go from there. Y'all, the let me show you the ground pork. It is looking scrumptious. Look at that. Got the juices in there. It is smelling real Caribbean style up in here. So we're just gonna mash these plantains. This is probably a good one instead of two. I wanted to stop at Trader Joe's to get another bag, but at the same time, it's like, this is trial and error. And I already have these because I tend to eat these. So it's like, at the end of the day, let's just make sure that I even can nail this before I decide to go and spend, you know, money on stuff. We're gonna mash it the rest of the way with the masher, just to make sure. We don't want to waste no products. So we're gonna go ahead and scrape it all off the glove, child. I want all my little bit of plantains, because this ain't gonna make an extreme amount. That's how we're gonna do it. Plantains, use the masher. Okay. Really trying to get it like real fine. And then this says add in the cornstarch, paprika, adobo, garlic, onion powder, and all that good stuff. So I'll show y'all what it looked like once I mix it up. I said to get it in a ball form to where it's no longer like sticky, which makes sense. Sweet plantains are gonna have that sticky approach. So this is what it's looking like in the bowl, with a little seasoning, a little razzle dazzle. So let's see what it says. Mix until it's smooth dough and it's not sticky. Should hold its shape and not be overly sticky. If the dough is too soft, mix it with additional cornstarch. Add it at a time until it forms a bowl. So, okay. It's in a ball shape, so that's what matters most, is that it's shaped and ready to, you know, ready to play. What else do it say? In a large baking sheet with parchment paper, set aside. In a large baking sheet with parchment paper, Set aside, divide the plantain dough into 4 equal pieces and shape into balls. On a working surface, place down a sheet of parchment paper. Add one of the dough balls into the center and top with another sheet of parchment paper. Using a rolling pin, flatten the dough out. Of course, the recipe always want to like restart itself. I think they want to make sure we still there. Roll it out to flatten it. The dough into a 6-inch circle. Remove the top parchment on the top half of the dough. Add the filling, the cheese, the meat. Make sure that the filling is cooled. Add some more cheese. Use the parchment paper to fold over the lower half of the dough and press the edges. Okay, so we're just basically going to make it like I already know how to make empanadas. I mean, we make pastelitos at home, is what Puerto Ricans call them. And I believe Dominicans as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to flatten it out on like a little bit of parchment paper. I'm not going to make them 6 inches because I don't have that much dough, but I am going to try to make them even if they're like miniature, just to see how that turns out. So I'll come back to y'all once they're kind of assembled, and instead of deep frying them, I do want to air fry them. So we're going to try that out too. And they got a homemade cilantro jalapeno sauce to go with it. So we're going to try that too. Let me show you what I'm working with. So we got these 3 with the cornstarch on the outside because I'm going to fry them and I want them to be crisp. I was going to air fry them. Sometimes the air fryer can be hit or miss when you batter things, because then you got to spray it in order for it to like really crisp it the way you want to. So we're just going to be naughty and we're going to fry these this time. And then as I experiment, I'll deep fry them later. Now this last one, I did something special. I did the sweet plantain on the bottom, then the stuffing, and then the sweet plantain again on the top. So kind of like a pupusa. If y'all, what is it, El Salvadorian? And I think other cultures do it, but they do pupusas, okay? And I love a pupusa. So I got plenty, y'all, of ground meat left, which is going to be perfect. Because remember I was telling y'all I was like, for breakfast, sometimes I don't know what I want to do. So that's going to be perfect. Because for breakfast, I can have like ground pork and make like a breakfast like bowl or something. I could do like potato, ground pork, a little egg. I'll be doing it up. So we're gonna go on ahead and fry this, and we're gonna see how this come out. I also need to make the cilantro jalapeno sauce. So I'm gonna show y'all how this come out. Okay, I made them. Now I'm not gonna lie, my oil, other people of color, you can probably relate. My oil was not super fresh, so we're throwing that out. But if fried, now that's the patty form. Doesn't look the prettiest. And here is the one that was more shaped like empanada. It had like the little browning on it, which is what I like. And then I have my homemade cilantro sauce, which, by the way, this jalapeno cilantro sauce is bomb.com. I will leave the recipes if y'all are interested. But that's what it looked like. And it came out good. Let me grab a fork so we can taste test. Truthfully, I'm hoping that this oil did not ruin the experience for me. That's what I'm praying. Because that oil was being real stupid. So let's just pray it don't taste. Crazy. Let me taste it without the sauce. Yeah, the oil ruined it. That's why I didn't fry the other two, y'all. I saved it and I'm gonna just air fry it and test that out. Because the oil sort of ruined. I don't know. That's how you know you gotta make sure you keep an eye on your oil, oil, because if it ain't fresh, it will throw your whole thing off. So this first one, the round one, is the one I made first. I think the oil was like, So I'm not gonna eat that one because it just made it taste off. But the second one is pretty good. Second one's pretty good. That first one, it's because of the oil. So I'm gonna cook the other two in the air fryer, and I'll keep y'all posted if there's like a difference in taste, because you can just tell. You know how you go to a restaurant and you're like, this oil don't taste fresh. It didn't look, but I was like, maybe. I googled it. Google's like, oh, but I think Google was talking about just it's a natural state. Google don't realize that the reality is it probably was just not fresh. So, oh no, the recipe seemed like it's gonna be good. I am intrigued, so I'm gonna air fry one of them right now because I didn't get to eat that first too, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what's the difference in a minute. Let me air fry it. Okay, y'all, so I air fried it. The only thing I hate about air frying, like I said, is that when you put flour, you gotta spray it with oil, and then it still be looking a little ashy looking. So still look a little ashy, but it came out crispy enough just to test it out. And I just want to see if that oil is skewing the taste of what I'm tasting, so I can give y'all an honest review about it. Yeah, that oil was old. It was old. That's how y'all know I do not fry often, like at all, really. And I thought about using new oil, and I was like, oh, I have that oil there. Let me use it one last time. Man, no, I should throw it out. But it is good. You just really gotta try to get the plantain and that stuff to be really crispy, which is why they said deep fry it. If anything, I have one last one, because remember there was 4. I threw one out, I fried one, just did this last one in the air fryer, and then I have the 4th one left. So if anything, I would try fresh oil tomorrow. And I would try deep frying it like that. But the taste is pretty good. I don't know if I care to have plantain as the dough. I think I'd just rather my plantain on the side, to be honest. So if it was somewhere at a restaurant, I would try it again, but I don't know that I want to make them again, because I really like plantain on the side. It's sweet, and I feel like it adds to savory things, but I like it separately. I like to take bites with it. That's a little different. It's not bad at all. I think y'all should try it. I think at the end of the day, the best way is gonna be deep frying it. So if you're not somebody that's into frying like myself, it's not something that you would prepare all the time, because with the plantain being like a soft thing, and then you're putting the cornstarch and all that stuff, you would want it to be deep fried so it can be crispy. And when you look at the recipe, you'll see that this person's was crispy, so they most likely deep fried that thing. I had to change the battery, but yeah, they most likely deep fried it, you know what I mean? So I think it was a nice little experiment, something to try out. But yeah, that's all. That's it. let me go on ahead and relax a little bit. I need to get ready to walk. Yeah, I gotta get ready to walk the boy. And then I can come back, take a minute. I need to edit my videos today. And I still want to get that stand together. So if I don't get the stand together, I'll check back in with y'all later on in the week. But it's gonna get done in this vlog, Pookie, because I need to start building the bed. So that's gonna be the next thing. But I'm gonna call y'all back.
Hey. The way you move, skin on the skin, no separation, need no conversation, nah, 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 nah. On everything, it's automatic, going 0 to 100, nah, nah. Riding, wishing the wheels will fall off. Time is ticking, it's taking you long. Right before I decide to go home, act like you hurt me. Only serve it up if you deserve me, yeah. Pull up and hurt me. Push it, push to start. Push it, push it. Push it. Only serve it up if you deserve me, yeah. Pull up and hurt me. Push to start. Push it. Pushing on my buttons with no hesitation. Gas me up, give me motivation. So tell me where we going, pick a destination. Gas me up, give me motivation. Pushing on buttons with no hesitation. Gas me up, give me motivation. So tell me where we going, pick a destination. Gas me up, give me motivation now. Come give me life and I'll change yours. Who needs signs? I say floor. On the highway we loaded. Hold me. Only serve it up if you deserve me, yeah. Pull up and hurt me. Push to start. Push it. Push it. Only serve it up if you deserve me, yeah. Pull up and hurt me. Push to start. Push it. Pushing on my buttons with no hesitation. Gas me up, give me motivation. So tell me where we going, pick a destination. Gas me up, give me motivation. Pushing on my buttons with no hesitation. Gas me up, give me motivation. So tell me where we going, pick a destination. Gas me up, give me motivation now. Give me life, I'll change yours. Who needs signs? I'll say floor. On the highway we loaded.
I wanna get with you, yeah. I wanna get them out of the picture, yeah. I'm in my vision, yeah. You can spot the difference, yeah. Me, I'm never acting shady. You will always be my baby. You be my baby, yeah.
Whip, body, grip, got it, die on it. Did I ever ask you to take me to go shopping in Paris or go sailing overseas and just drape me in Gucci? No. All I ever asked was you to pick up the phone when you alone. All I ever asked was you to show me some love, kisses and hugs. No, I never had an issue, go to the club with your boys, baby. I never wanted you to stay, no, just wanted you to show me. So won't you say my name, say my name. If you claim you want me, it ain't no plan. You acting kinda shady. You ain't been calling me baby, boy, you can go stop playing games.
Hey y'all, hey, happy Monday. So yesterday, Sunday, I did not move the cabinet into the vestibule because that table was heavy as heck over the weekend, lifting it, and then building this shelf was enough. Okay, so this week I told y'all I have a longer week off. The company I work for, they granted us half day Thursday, all of Friday, obviously to observe 4th of July on Saturday, and then they even gave us the Monday coming, so the 6th off. I'll take it. I will take it. So with that being said, this is gonna be my time to, get everything together and do all the things. But I'm not gonna deep mop and all the things until I rearrange the whole apartment, because the goal this weekend coming is to build the new bed frame that I have, rearrange the apartment, and that alone is going to already require enough dusting and sweeping and vacuuming, mopping, whatever. So we're just going to wait on that. But I at least wanted to, as y'all saw, mop that area, because I don't want to push this cabinet up against the wall and then it has, you know, the dust and dirt on the floor and on the baseboards and that kind of thing. So for now, y'all see that I have the shoes in here, just kind of aligned, and then the shoes that I wear daily, which are just literally little like slides, I put them at the base. Let me show you here. I put it at the base there, just because I feel like shoes that I wear more frequently, it makes more sense to be down on that bottom part, and then I could just slide my foot in, slide my foot out. Now that cleared up. So as y'all can see, this is my front door, and y'all also saw that I tested how far the door goes back, because I had obviously measured to know. I knew that from the baseboard, right? Because that's another thing, a little designer's tip in case y'all are like beginners. When it comes wall to wall, do not measure the wall itself if you have baseboards, which everybody should have baseboards, but if you don't, I know some places, whatever. Don't measure from that wall to this door frame, because that's going to be inaccurate, and that's going to at least buy you half an inch to an inch. It's going to give you a half an inch to an inch more than what you really have, because a baseboard is going to be anywhere between that, right? Like half an inch to an inch thick. And so you really want to measure what do you have from the baseboard to, you know, where you want it to end. And so I knew that I had about 14 inches max for the depth of this cabinet, including a little bit, as you can see, a little bit of this door frame. I knew that I had that much. It couldn't go obviously past the door frame. If it would have came out even 2 inches more, it would have been okay, but then that means that the door wouldn't open fully, right? So as y'all can see now, I have the door fully open. Yeah, we have a fire exit right there, but I have the door fully open, which is more than enough space for me and extra space. I don't never open it that wide anyways. I probably open it to right here, but that's the whole premise of what you would prefer. So then that way, you know, you have that accommodation. So what I'm planning on doing is putting some sort of whatever up here. Either I could put baskets up here to store, like possibly I can store sweaters. I could store whatever, right? But this is mainly going to be for shoes, which is why I tried not to go that far up. I did get 2 pairs of shoes here, probably get a 3rd one here, but I would like to keep these ones open, these 3 or 4 on top, to be able to put like accessories. So little small hand purses or clutches, wristlets, jewelry, accessories. I really wanted to put my sunglasses in here, so I'll probably put that inside as well, because right now they're on my dresser. But I need to make more space on my dresser for other things. So I believe I would want to pull that out and put the sunglasses and accessories in here, because that'll also keep it from getting dusty, right? Like the glasses that I have. Matter of fact, let me show y'all. Okay, so I have these little holders that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I think that is perfect to just store, you know, your different glasses, that kind of thing. Look at me, already dropping dust and stuff on the floor. So that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna end up sweeping and all that kind of stuff again anyways, because there's gonna be so much moving and grooving around here. But I want to be able to take my glasses and not have them be so dusty. So my idea is to just put it inside of here where I can easily grab whatever I want to wear, and it'll be perfect because if I'm going outside, like I got all these little like blue light protective glasses, I got sunglasses, all the things. So now I can grow and really just put the glasses in here, put a third one here, and just have this be closed in so I'm not having to worry about them getting so dusty. I feel like between your shoes and glasses, accessories, like stuff that you want to put on your body that you're not always using, it will collect dust. Unless you're going to be thoroughly on top of dusting those things all the time, it's going to collect dust. And so if you can prevent it, the best thing I would suggest is to always get something that's enclosed instead of letting it sit there. As you can see when I was cleaning off the sneakers, there's dust all over it from sitting, you know, just on the floor on that little simple basic rack that I had sitting there. So I'm actually was gonna get rid of that rack, but then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? Keep that rack, because I like to repurpose things, y'all. I don't like to just get rid of stuff and pay for all of this and pay for all of that if I don't need to, if I can utilize it somewhere else. So that would be perfect inside of my closet. I don't know if I've ever showed y'all the inside of my closet. But for a studio apartment, the closet's actually really good. But I'll show that to y'all at some point, because now that I'm pulling the shoes that were here on the floor, there are still shoes in the closet. So whatever I'm really not gonna wear, I'm gonna donate those. But whatever I can wear, but I don't get to, how do I say? I'm not utilizing it as much because they're in there versus the ones that were out here with my daily use. I'm gonna try to transport them from the closet to the shoe stand. And I think that this is much better. I was originally, and I'll put a photo here, I was originally gonna get those like cute fancy ones that became a hot commodity like years ago. The one that looks like a little like dresser situation, but you pull it down and it comes out at like a 45-degree situation, 30-degree, and you could just slide the shoes into the slots and then close it back up. I thought that would be perfect. But then I was like, you need to maximize this space. Like, you have tall ceilings in here, and as y'all can, oh, y'all can't see it. Okay, so I'll show y'all. Up there, I have storage. So the ceilings being high, I could have even gotten this cabinet to be taller. But I was like, it's fine. It'll give me room to put baskets or something on top. It also came with a couple of hooks for the side, so I'm gonna put them on the side here facing the kitchen, and I can like hang whatever, you know what I mean? Or if I want, you know, if it doesn't look too pretty, there's room on this side, so I could shift the cabinet to the left instead, like that, and I could put the hook here to make it inconspicuous to like hook umbrellas that need to hang, or you know, something like that. That could be what goes in like this cabinet. Because truthfully, y'all, I know you see this opening. This is the opening that y'all always see when I'm standing in the kitchen and I'm recording. Y'all always looked out and saw that coat rack that would sit right there. I don't enter the kitchen this way. Like, this is the front door. And I'm telling y'all, from a designer standpoint, they really just botched up some shit in this building. It's a historic building, 1920s. And it used to be a long railroad apartments. So it would be 2 apartments per floor. And the apartments would extend, which I think is just so historically just like dope. To have like a long situation is just dope. So it would extend from the front of the building all the way to the back of the building. And I'm in the back of the building in a corner apartment. And they basically just spliced up a bunch of studio, efficiency size studio, and what they quote unquote call 1-bedroom apartments. And that's what this whole building is basically a combination of. So the way that they set up doorways and stuff is just awkward. Very awkward. So I personally do not go into the kitchen this way. That's why I don't mind this cabinet being here. I never go into the kitchen this way because of the fact that they have the refrigerator sticking. So this is the cabinet. The refrigerator is sticking right here. Cabinet, refrigerator, cabinet, very close, right? Me being a plus size woman, even if you wasn't plus size, I could fit through there. But you would basically be sort of like shimmying around the refrigerator to get through the doorway, as you can see. And it just doesn't make any sense. And I considered moving the refrigerator. But then I was just like, honestly, where it is makes the most sense. Because there's really no other logic to it. Because as y'all see, there's the refrigerator, then there's the stove right next to it. So I leave it here. But I typically come into my unit, walk around the wall, and go through the main entrance to the kitchen on that other side. So I don't mind blocking this off. And if I really wanted to, it's just that I don't want to see the back of this cabinet. I could just block off this whole entire thing. You know what I mean? I could just put up a facade wall or drapery, which I don't love. I could do all of that and just make this vestibule really work. And then I could turn this cabinet to really have the back to that. But it's not that deep to me because truthfully, y'all, I'm hoping to be moving within another year, a little over a year. I've been here for years, and so I'm just looking to kind of elevate and do something different and whatever. So for now, we're gonna keep this like it is because I think this makes the most sense, and put the stuff up there. As I keep going through this week, I will show you, but I am loving so far how I can just walk into this place. I can show y'all. Now it looks a freaking mess, but essentially where I'm standing, so if I move, the sofa's right here. I'm thinking of putting the bed on this wall and having it go the long way, facing the window. And so when I come in, this will make all the difference because there's none of this stuff, right? Sometimes I would trip over the shoe rack that was sitting on the floor, you know, trip your foot and me going out the door, trip your foot coming into the door. So now there'd be nothing here. And then I have the coat rack. So here's the coat rack. I'm planning on getting rid of this coat rack because really it just houses the main stuff that I use on here is that it houses my dog's leash and harness. It houses a few purses, which is why I'm like the purses could go inside of here. Purse, my house keys, and then like a few little throw-on jackets. This is a jacket, that's a jacket, sweater, my purse, a little hat because I didn't know where to put it. That's another reason why I wanted to get this cabinet, because I feel like these things would be perfect being on the cabinet, inside of the cabinet, in a basket, you know, just something like that. And so that is the goal. That's the goal, is to get rid of this stand. And even if I decided to keep it, y'all, the way it's pushed up against here, it still no longer bothers me when I come in. I can still fully walk and not have the kerfuffle that was in my way before. But aesthetically, I don't want no coat rack sitting next to the bed and all that stuff. It looks like a sore thumb. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move that out, take the jackets off, maybe fold them up inside of a basket, put them in a basket, and make it easy if I want to, whatever, or put it in my closet. You know, I don't utilize these things as often. Maybe that one little black sweater, that's it. So most of that can go inside the closet, and if I'm feeling like wearing it for the day, I can wear it. Because the fact of the matter is if your unit's not that big, you don't need to spread things all over the place if you don't need to. Like, I don't need shoes over there and shoes over here. I don't need jackets in the closet and jackets hanging on a coat rack. At first, I got that because I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I can just store all the coats on there. And as you can see, those are like majority of the sweaters because I live in LA. I'm not wearing a big jacket like that. And it just, you don't need them in two places because the space is so small. So most likely I'll be getting rid of that and donating it. Furniture pieces, that's pretty good. I donate it to the women's shelter because I think that makes the most sense rather than giving extremely good stuff to Goodwill. Like, I don't give trash to Goodwill, but I'm just saying, like, cutting boards, the plastic cutting boards I'm trying to get rid of, I'm going to give that to Goodwill. They were a rainbow assortment of cutting boards. You really shouldn't be using plastic in the first place. I want to get wood cutting boards, that kind of thing. I'm going to donate that to Goodwill. But like a nice heavy duty coat rack, which I'll show y'all once I take all the stuff off. And like me having two desks, and I need to get rid of one of them. The bed frame isn't bad. It's just, it doesn't attach anymore to the bed headboard isn't bad, but it doesn't attach to the bed frame. Like that kind of stuff, donate it to a women's shelter or wherever where you know a family can truly utilize the stuff. So that's another tidbit that I would say for you all. But yeah, I am glad that it's built, and I will continue to do the freaking Swiffering and mopping and all this stuff once I get that bed built, because there's also not enough space in here to build one thing and still have an entire other bed built, right? Like the mattress is going to have to go up against the wall. I'm going to have to take down the bed frame that's broke, put the headboard somewhere that I don't need it, and all that stuff. So it's just, it's a whole thing. But this is the process, and I'll continue to walk y'all through it as I get it done, as I rearrange. These may be broken up into parts because obviously I don't want it to be too long, but I do want to show y'all the process. So that's the start to the Monday, and I'm gonna check on my emails, check on work, and get some breakfast going. It is 9 o'clock, so just want to get some breakfast going. Y'all, I'm still listening to this audiobook. It is still pretty good. I just put it on pause. And then I have my second allergy shot today. So I'm not going to take y'all to it all the time, but I will keep y'all posted on how it's making me feel, because as the weeks go on, they do add a stronger, like, dosage to your routine, and the medicine is stronger. So I'll keep y'all posted. I'm praying to never have to use the EpiPen, but you know, I'm gonna always keep it with me because you just never know. Ooh, hey y'all, hey. It's been a Monday, and as y'all can see, I'm literally crying my eyes out because people are just so kind sometimes. And I just appreciate having people that are supportive like myself. So I just wanted to come up here and share why I'm emotional. It's a good thing, but it's a good thing. I just wanted to share with y'all. So I told y'all that I need to sit for my license for my industry. Being an interior designer, I need to sit to become licensed. It's not mandatory, but it is highly recommended, right? It sets you at the top of just being overly accredited for what it is that you can handle within the industry. A lot of times, if you work for firms, most likely there's a team of people that are licensed, so you don't really have to be, and certain states have different criteria, whatever the case may be. And I live in California, so it's not required, but I know that it brings you to that next level, and I've always wanted to do it, but there's just these different stipulations that you got to meet. You got to be in the industry a certain amount of time and or have the educational experience. If you don't have the educational experience, there's all of these other paths and this. There's just so much stuff to it. And a lot of people say that the test is not a joke. There's 3 parts to it, and you just gotta do it, right? And although it's not required, I've always been such an overachiever and just a person that want to dot my I's and cross my T's and make sure that I have the things that will set me up for the greatest level of success. And so I told y'all that I was going to start sitting for it, and I was supposed to sit for it this fall, but when I talked to a friend that I went to school with, she just recently passed it this spring, and she said she sat for all 3 parts. And she said, but she would highly recommend that you study for at least 6 months, just consecutively, head in the book and in the online test prep and all this stuff. And so I was gonna sit for the first part this fall, but when she said it's better to take all 3 because you can retain all the information and just take a good pass at all 3, set them on different days and just get it done. And I was like, you know what, that sounds like really good advice. And I know other people that sat and did all 3 as well. So I'm changing it from this fall to the spring of 2027. And she was telling me I need to get the book, all this stuff, and I knew that. And so I got the book, y'all. I got the book. I finally got the book. I got it on Etsy because it was actually inexpensive compared to the original price. The original price is $336 for the freaking book. And Amazon had it for almost like 50% off, which that wouldn't have been bad either. But then something kept saying, look. And it's like God pointed me to Etsy, and I was like, I know I sell on Etsy and I know I've purchased on Etsy, but I'm like, this better not be too good to be true. This book better not be fake. Y'all, the book is legit, okay? And I'm just grateful. I recently got it a couple days ago, and I've been looking through it, and it's exactly what it needed to be. So my friend's like, I can give you the flashcards. I still have the flashcards that I used to study. And she was like, I purchased it along with the book. The book was not mine. It was a borrow. But I was also told, well, like a traveling book, I was told if I have the book that I need to pass it along to the next person. And so she couldn't give me the book, which was understandable. I was able to get my own. But she was like, but I did purchase my own flashcards. And she was like, I would highly recommend it. Y'all, the cards came today. She gave me all of them. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And then at the bottom of the box, there was a card with my initial on there. And I was able, if y'all hear any tipping, it's your doggy nephew down there. I opened it. And it was just so cute. I'm not going to share all of the words, but she was able to just, yeah. It's just words of encouragement and support that I really appreciate. And the emotions basically came from just growing up knowing, like, do unto others as you would want done to you. And I'm such a giving person, such a supportive person, and I will help even a stranger. Which is a part of why I even started YouTube with my reviews and services, to just inform people on things. Because it's not going to cost me anything. And so I always want to give. And so to just have people be supportive, I always feel like that is such a great feeling. So I don't want to get emotional again, but I just want to say, remember to be gracious and extend yourself when you can. Not overextend, but extend yourself when you can, and be helpful to somebody else, because it really can make a big difference. So anyway, just wanted to share that. But the rest of the Monday went good. The second allergy shot actually wasn't bad, but I did start experiencing like a little bit of itching. Like, it kind of felt like it was like rushing through my body, where I would like feel like an itch sensation sort of travel in my body. So I guess as we get more and more, there could possibly be more of that. But yeah, I just wanted to share the day. As y'all can see, the sun is setting, so just wanted to stop in and say hello. And the setup for that stand is really great. Like, I don't know what it is, but moving that little shoe rack that was on the floor just makes the doorway feel wider, because you're not like stepping around the shoe rack. Not saying it was extremely out in the way, but it just makes for a clearer like walk path, and so I really love that. And I was actually able to go inside of AutoCAD again and rework a layout, and I did like 2 other options, and I realized that I just like the option that I came up with in the first place. So like I said, we'll do more of that later on this week, but I just wanted to pop in and say hello, and I will check back in with y'all as soon as I get ready to start rearranging this place. So yeah, good night, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
I've got to understand, I just wanna live my life, and I wanna do it right. I just wanna take my time.